So we're going to be talking today about how to figure out the least common multiple of two numbers. So start off with any two numbers. So if we have the numbers 2 and 6, what we want to figure out is we want to figure out what number do both of those numbers divide into that is the smallest number like that. So one way of doing that, it's probably the most straightforward, is to start adding. 2 plus 2 equals 4, plus 2 more is 6, plus 2 more is 8, plus 2 more is 10, plus 2 more is 12, and so on. And this one here in this column here, 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 6 is 24, plus 6 is 30, plus 6 is 36. Now the least common multiple is the one that occurs in both columns first. And in this case here, that's going to be 6. Now if you notice, there are also other multiples here. If we were to go ahead and keep adding here, we got 12 and 12, but that's not the least common multiple. So the least common multiple of 2 and 6 is equal to 6. Let's try another one here. If we have instead 10 and 15, it may just come to you, the smallest number that both of those numbers divide into, it may just come to you, but if not, then just add the same number on down the line. And then on this column here, do the same thing, except for in this column here, you're adding 15s. And what you'll notice is the smallest number that both these numbers here, both 10 and 15, go into is going to be 30. So the LCM, or least common multiple, is equal to 30. Now, this works really well if also you have two numbers like this, 5 and 2, then you're just going to keep adding here. And what you'll notice is that you can add here for a while if you want, or you can start with the smallest number and add a bunch with that one until you get to the bigger number, and then we'll see if it actually matches up. So you can stop right there because you came up with tens. So the LCM of 5 and 2 is going to be 10. And if we have instead problems like this, 20 and 7, same thing. This one's going to take a little bit longer though. This one here we're going to have to do 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. All I'm doing is I'm adding 7 to each one. 42, 49, 56, 63, 70, and we're going to have to keep going for a while, but now let's try over here. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. So now we've established that we've gone quite a ways in the 20s column, so now we need to continue on because nothing matches yet. So it's going to be 77, 84, 91, 98, 105, 112, 119, 126, 133, then 140. And there we finally have it. So this is another way of doing it as well. If you're looking for a common multiple between these two, it's always possible that you can multiply the two numbers together and you end up with a common multiple. But what we're generally looking for is the least common multiple, but this is one way of coming out. In this case here, 20 times 7 is actually what's happening there. 20 times 7 is the least common multiple of both of those. So for some of these, it just might come to you, 3 and 5. What's the biggest number that both of them go to? It's going to be 15. Because again, 6, 9, 12, 15, and then 10 and 15. So that's the way that I think is the most straightforward in terms of finding these. And this is going to be really important for finding common denominators. I'm going to do one more here. So if we have 20 and 12, same thing here, 40, 60, 80. Now I'll start adding to the 12s. 24, 36, 48, 60. And what's the number that occurs first? It's going to be 60. So the LCM of 20 and 12 is going to be equal to 60. And that's a really important number because that's actually going to be what we're going to use later on in fractions for the lowest common denominator. So thanks, and hopefully this is now pretty clear.